In the previous video, we have already discussed about some basic reactions, about the decomposition reactions. So this is an example of a electrolytic decomposition, which is also called as electrolysis. Here you can see that a plastic mug has been taken. Two holes are drilled at its base and rubber stoppers are fitted in these holes, and carbon electrodes are inserted over here such as rubber stoppers, and the electrodes are connected to a 6-volt battery. The water has been filled with in the mug so that the electrodes are immersed. Now few drops of dilute sulfuric acid in the water has been taken. Two test tubes have been taken and has been filled with water, and carbon electrodes are placed over them in an inverted position. Now the current has been switched on and the apparatus has been left undisturbed for some times. What is the observation? Now you can observe the formation of bubbles at both the electrodes. So this is an example of an electrolytic decomposition reaction in which we can see that hydrogen ions at the cathode and oxygen ions at the anode, and oxygen is double of hydrogen in terms of volume. See, this is a basic setup of electrolysis. Here a mug has been taken, two electrodes or two test tubes has been taken in an inverted positions. Now here a battery has been connected, 6-volt battery has been connected, and the current is passed by the means of a switch. Here anode and cathode has been connected with the battery. What we can see that? We can see that hydrogen at the cathode and oxygen at the anode. So this is an example, or this is a setup of an electrolytic decomposition reaction. What are displacement reaction? When an element displaces another element from its respective compound of lower reactivity, it is said to be a displacement reaction. Here you can see that zinc plus H2S is reacted and H2 plus ZnS. Zinc displaces H2 and combined with sulfur. So zinc displaces here hydrogen. So here you can also see that an iron nail example. When an iron nail is being kept in blue copper sulfate solution, we can leave it for 1 week. So we can see the reaction here. The iron nail has been shifted here in this test tube. The green iron sulfate solution, the blue copper sulfate solution has been converted into green iron sulfate solution, and copper metal has been come to the iron metal. So therefore we can see that iron displaces here in the reaction copper. Okay, so this is an example of a displacement reaction. Here are some examples of displacement reactions of also Zn plus CuSO4. It will bring ZnSO4, 2Al plus 3CuSO4. It will gives 3Cu plus Al2SO4 in aqueous mode. So these are some examples of a displacement reaction. What is a double displacement reaction? The reactions in which there is an exchange of ions between the reactants are called as double displacement reactions, which is also called as precipitation reaction, because an insoluble substance is formed which is known as a precipitate. So any reaction that produces a precipitate can be called as a precipitation reaction. This is an example of a double displacement reaction in which AgNO3 plus NaCl react will gives AgCl plus NaNO3. So this is an example of a double displacement reaction. Here are the examples of precipitation reactions, which is also called as a double displacement reaction. You can see that Ag plus and NO3 ions plus solution of K plus and CrO4 2 minus ions, it will gives a mixture of both. So this is an example of a precipitation reaction. What are redox reaction? Oxidation and reduction are also called as redox reaction. If a substance gains oxygen, it is said to be oxidized, and if a substance loses oxygen, it is called as a reduced agent. So therefore, if one reactant gets oxidized while the other gets reduced during a reaction, such reactions are called as oxidation reduction reactions, or also called as redox reaction. This is an example of a redox reaction: electron donor, electron acceptor. That is called as oxidation, whereas oxidized donor, reduced acceptor, it is called as reduction. Here are some examples of a redox reaction. What is corrosion and rancidity? When a metal is attacked by a substance around it, such as a moisture, acids, etc., is said to be corrode, and the process is called as corrosion. There are many examples of corrosion. For example, the black coating on silver and the green coating on copper, they are the examples of corrosion. Corrosion also causes damage to car bodies, bridges, etc. For example, rusting of iron, corrosion of iron, it is also a serious problem nowadays. So this is called as a corrosion example. There are many examples of corrosion in our daily life. Okay. Now what is rancidity? When fats and oils are oxidized, they become rancid and their smell and taste changes. Usually substances which prevent oxygen are added to foods containing fats and oils. Therefore, keeping food in airtight containers helps to slow down the oxidation. This prevents the food from becoming rancid, and hence chips are flushed with nitrogen gas to prevent it from rancidity. So basically, rancidity is produced by fats and oils molecules, and corrosion is basically related to a metal. So these are the two basic terms of the corrosion and rancidity. So this is all about your first chapter. Thank you.